Rude Gain on r/family business says, I've been working for my family business for the last 15 years, and I'm bored of the business to the core. How do you all keep yourself motivated working for the same company your whole life? Oh, that is a good question. And that is a question that I think is particularly unique to family businesses or succession businesses, because what most people would say is just go out and start your own company. If you're bored working for your employer, just head out and start your own company. But obviously with family businesses, our goal is to see that family business continue. If the parents or the next generation up are only in their late 40s, they might not be ready to retire. You're going to have to spend some time working in the business before they're ready to move on and they trust you to be able to take over that company. First off, if you're in a family business and you've been there for 15 years and there hasn't been any talk of succession yet, or any talk of what the steps are that are necessary for you to be able to take over that business, you need clarity in that, because that clarity is going to give you a vision. It's going to give you something to work towards in the future. Redditor says they are bored of the business to the core. So first off, for that answer, if you are bored of the business to the core, then you need to ask yourself if it's even a business that you want to continue working in. If you've just been there for 15 years and you're burned out, you might need vision. That might help. So I've got a couple things that have helped me in my career. I've been in public accounting for 18 years, and I have been burned out and bored at various times in this career. And first thing that I would say is to control what you can control. You can control your own situation, you can control your goals. My wife and I set a goal of becoming debt-free for our family. And so that gave me something to focus on. And so I was no longer just working for a paycheck. I was now working every 2 weeks to get a little bit more to put towards our debt. Went out and got a second job through that at the debt. I was able to control that. And then the last thing I would suggest, if you are in that employee relationship, is start something on the side. So when I first started here at GW 7 years ago, I was not a partner yet, but I started hosting strongman competitions to scratch that entrepreneurial itch that I was leaving behind by walking away from my company and joining up with this company. So by having that on the side and running competitions a couple times a year, it allowed me to focus my efforts on something that I could control, something that I was in charge of. Those are my recommendations for being an employee and how to avoid burnout. Now let's talk about being a business owner. Owner burnout is real. One of the things that's important for burnout is you've been working in a business for 15 years. Hopefully you're no longer doing the same task that you were 15 years ago. And I say this as a tax preparer. Tax season is just a recurring every year. It's always there. We just are finishing up extension season and we're already looking towards next tax season. So there are some tasks that are going to be the same every single year, but I'm delegating those tasks and I'm moving into new responsibilities. And so I'm no longer doing the same tasks that I was when I started in this career in 2006. You want to continue growing within a profession in order to avoid burnout. So becoming a business owner or becoming a manager, moving away from those entry-level tasks that you used to do actually in some ways becomes more difficult, but it creates new challenges. And I think that it's the pursuit of challenges that makes a job interesting. The great thing about being a business owner is you are in control of that business. And if you find yourself getting bored, you find yourself getting burned out, you have the ability to change it. And that's the second thing that I would say, is to start changing your environment, change your people. If you are burned out and you find it's largely due to a specific type of client that you work with or a specific type of service that you provide, you can take the steps necessary in order to change that. You have that ability as a business owner. You also need to be clear with your team. So if you find out that your problem employees or a certain type of behavior from your team is what's causing the burnout, and just every day you're coming into work and you have to deal with this specific thing, clarity to your team and then just setting a tone at the top, I think, is going to help bring structure to that team, solve some of those problems, have the team start policing themselves. It's going to relieve some of that burnout from you when you have more people on the boat rowing in the same direction. You want to find other people who are business owners that you can talk to about your issues. Every single year, the last week of October, I head down to Greenville for a conference of CPA firm business owners specifically. And the thing that I love about this conference is it's not a tax update, but it's grabbing a beer with another business owner and talking about how hard it is to engage employees, how hard it is to fire clients, how hard it is to try new services. We share and we look forward to the future together. Just to have somebody there that knows how difficult it is helps a lot. So I do think that it is important to have people in your corner. I can't talk to most of my friends about these topics because they're not entrepreneurial. I've tried in the past to talk to my wife about it. It just stresses her out more and she doesn't have the sense of control that I do as a business owner, but talking to another business owner, it's not their problem, but they empathize with me. I find that helps me a lot. So I already talked about changing your clients, adding services, but as a business owner, we can expand our business. We can move into new territories. That gives us new problems to solve. We can add additional services. And I think a lot of business owners know that. If you get bored doing one thing, let's add something else onto that. I would also challenge business owners, though, that there's a challenge to be had and can remove burnout if you remove or narrow down your services. And so one of the challenges I think we have as a business owner is also finding how to make do with less, how to narrow our services and increase profitability. To stay engaged with that business, become really good at XYZ. And when you become really good at something, you're no longer a generalist that has to compete with everybody within your region. You are now a specialist. And so people from different states, people from across the country are going to bring new problems to you because that is what you are known for. That's kind of the benefit of narrowing your services is I'm no longer the best CPA among the 10 firms that we have in our zip code or our area code. I'm now in the top 5 across the country. When a company has got a specific problem that I can solve because I've narrowed what we do, we now get to engage with them and we get to find out new challenges that could keep us engaged. And ultimately all of this is going to come down to we have the power to change ourselves. So I did a video, I'll link it at the end, about patience. Patience is a skill. Patience is a muscle, and patience is not something that we're just born with. Babies are not patient. Eventually, it's something that we grow into if we work on it. It can be a sign of maturity, but it's something that you can practice. It's something I can grow to become more patient. The next piece of changing yourself is, it's cliche, but it's going to be finding that why. I think everybody has a why that's like a lifetime why, but I don't think that that's necessarily motivating because it's something like over the course of 60 years, I want to be known for this. What you need to do is look for the why that's motivating you right now. When I was an employee, that why became getting my family out of debt and taking control of our financial future. When I first became a CPA, I was getting burned out of being behind the scenes, and so I started to interact with clients. And so my why became seeing how accounting actually changes their lives and seeing how it makes their business better. So that became my why at that time. I did that for a while, and then when I joined up here at GWCPA, my why shifted to become focused on my team. That has been my why for probably about the past 5 years or so. And that's what keeps me engaged in the business now, is I'm no longer here even for the customer. I'm here to make sure that our team has what they need so that they can do their best work and they can be engaged in the profession. So that's my why right now. And it'll probably be different 10 years from now. Anything that's worth doing is going to take time. I talk about that in the patience video, which I'll link up in the corner now. But if it's worth doing, it's going to take time to accomplish. And that's hard to hear in our culture where everything needs to be instantaneous, but 15 years is not that long a time. When you talk about businesses that have stood the test of time, 15 years isn't even 1990. But 15 years, even in the course of a career, you're gonna have many different 15-year blocks of time over the course of your career, probably 3 to 4 of them. Knowing why you're there, what you're doing, and controlling what you can control is going to help you be able to push through those 15 years and start to face the next 15 years. I'm interested in hearing how you guys face patience, how you guys face boredom at work, burnout, deal with it. Go ahead and leave those in the comments below. And if you like this video and want to see me address more of these Reddit posts, go ahead and let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.